Okay, let me just put the links on Facebook, and we're almost ready to start the match. One second here. Okay, let me just put the links on Facebook, and we're almost ready to start the match. Okay. Right, let's post it here. Okay. And in daily chess training. All right, guys, so I'm about to start my match with Dario. So we're going to play 10 games, 5-minute, best of 10 games. So I expect it to be a very interesting match. So I want to say a few things about my opponent, Dario, before we start. So I believe he's rated right now somewhere in the mid-2100s. But I definitely believe he's underrated right now. I would say he's definitely about master strength, because I just think it's due to the fact that he just doesn't play enough tournaments right now. But I have a lot of respect for his game. He's a very solid player. He has a very similar style to mine. He's very aggressive. He loves dynamics. He loves playing with the initiative just like me. And there's really no weaknesses that I know of that I could pinpoint to. He's very solid in openings. He knows the openings. He plays very well. Middle games are good. End games are definitely sufficient. Basically, it's just going to come down to playing well. It's going to be about playing quick. Time is going to be crucial here. It's about staying ahead on the clock. So I'm going to try to play quick and confident. And if I do that, I like my chances. If not, like I'm not going to do well for sure. So like I feel it's going to be a very interesting match, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So we're about to get started. Let me challenge him right now. So let's go. Play Dario Teodori, and 5 minutes. Set it to 5 minutes. And okay, challenge is sent. Let's wait for him to accept. So yeah, we're just waiting for him to accept at this point. Let's go, Dario. Come on. I feel it's going to be a very, very close and competitive match. If it's lopsided on any side, that means one of us is definitely not playing up to our potential. If we both play the way we're capable of playing, it's going to be a very close and competitive match. Some of the keys before Dario accepts, let me just try to challenge him again, just in case that one didn't go through. So, okay. Okay, so some of the keys is going to be, like I said before, we want to play fast, stay ahead on the clock, and not blundering. Not blundering is very important. So we need to be sharp tactic. I'm lagging a bit, so my mouse is kind of freezing on every move, but we're gonna try. Hopefully, it gets better. We're gonna try to work around it. So here, yeah, he goes bishop b5 check. That's normal. We're just gonna play bishop d7. The idea here is just to develop normally. We want to go knight f6, knight c6, castle, centralize our rook, our queen, and black has a decent playable position. So a4, interesting. Not really sure about that move, but we're just gonna continue developing. I don't think I've ever seen this move a4 before. I don't know if I think much about it. I'm not sure. Maybe the point is after I play a6, it's to stop me from expanding b5. But I'm a little skeptical that that's the best way for white to play. Let's castle. So we want to stay quick and confident. That's the key. So he castles as well, and knight c6. Knight c6. I definitely don't want to take that bishop. Yeah, it's freezing on me now. I'm trying to play knight c6, but it's freezing a bit. Hopefully it gets better after. I don't want to take the bishop because after AB it looks like he has double pawns, but those pawns are actually quite strong because he has a lot of pressure on the A file with his rook. And I definitely don't like that position. So now we're going to play a6 and force him to a decision. If he takes, I'm pretty happy. I'm just going to take. But he doesn't take, which is what I expected. So now the question is, how do we continue? I'm thinking let's just continue centralizing our pieces. Let's go rook c8. Now next we want to go maybe queen c7 and see what he does. May I expect him to play something like d3 maybe? He needs to do something about that bishop. So yeah, he does. And then let's play queen c7. If it ever lets me, we're gonna play queen c7. It's not letting me so far. Okay, it's a little bit of a shame that I'm having this lag, but again, hopefully it goes away. Sometimes when I use this program to broadcast XSplit, it slows down the computer quite a bit. All right, yeah, bishop e3, and now he's hitting my b6 pawn. And it's a little annoying because I can't play b6 because if bishop takes a6. So I almost have to move this knight now on c6 to open up my queen. Maybe I didn't play this ideally. So where do I go now? I guess knight. Yeah, let's go knight a5. Knight a5. I expect him to drop back. Bishop a2. After which, can I take on a4 here? I guess he takes on e6. Now I don't like that much. You know what? I'm gonna make a solid move. I'm just gonna play, since my a6 pawn's not hanging anymore. I'm just gonna play b6. Now I want to get my knight back into action. So he played king h1, maybe. Yeah, well, it's just a prophylactic. Okay, he gets his bishop back. That does make sense. So I need to take care of that b7 pawn, and I'm gonna do it by playing queen b7. Queen's not ideally placed on b7, but I don't see what else I could do. Maybe he's gonna play d4 here now and aim again at my a6 pawn. That's actually a bit annoying. I'm not even sure exactly how I'm going to respond to that. But he goes knight e5. Okay. You know what? I'm going to just take this knight. And then Come on, let's go. Then can I take on e4? He takes, and then he takes on a6. But I kind of like that trade. Maybe he's going to take on f6 now in between, but then I take bishop takes f6, and e5 hangs in the end. So I'm pretty happy about that line. So yeah, if he takes, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the knight, because I'm happy to trade a central pawn for a corner pawn, and I think I kind of like my position there. I like my position. So he does take on f6 in between. So we're going to take. Now he's going to take on e5, and I'm going to pre-move. Taking, okay. And now, does he want to play d4 now? Maybe now d4. Ooh, yeah, that actually might be quite annoying. Because then, after take, my bishop's going to be hanging. Ooh, I didn't see that. Bishop h6. Whoa. That's interesting, because now that's a clever move. Because if I take, he's going to take on e5. That doesn't look good at all. So, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with this? Do I just drop my bishop back? Then queen g4 might be annoying. You know what? I'm going to play queen c7, protecting. That does hang my a6 pawn, but I'm also attacking on h2. So if he plays bishop takes h6, now I'm going to play rook a8. When he moves, I'm going to take on h2. I'm not sure what's going on in this line. I'm not that thrilled about my position, but I don't think it's so bad. And if he doesn't take on a6, I think I'm going to play b5 next. It's going to be with a tempo attacking his bishop, and I don't have to worry about the a6 pawn. So queen g4 I don't think does much because it's protected. I'm probably going to play a move like king h8 there. And I'm not sure. I think he should take on a6. I'm not sure, like, really what else he should do. The one thing, I definitely need to not get very low on time, because then I could be in trouble with my lag. So, okay. So he's attacking on e5. Interesting move. If I go bishop f6, he's probably going to sacrifice an exchange. Do I take on h2 is the question. It's risky. It's a little risky. He's probably going to go queen g4 there. Queen g4, and then it's going to be hard to protect. You know what? I'm going to counterattack now with b5. If he takes on e5, I'm going to take, and now both his bishops will be hanging. And I'm not even sure which one I'll take. I'll probably take the one on c4. Then when he moves his bishop, I'll take on d3. So he takes. Let's take back. Come on, please let me. Thank you. Okay, he takes. Let's take. Major lag. It's going to be very hard to play in time pressure. Now we're going to take on c4. We're going to take on c4. Rook g5. Yeah, I noticed this move in the last second here. So rook g5 to maybe f6 now. No, f6 he takes on g7 and then d7. What to do? G5. I think I have to give up an exchange here. Let's go. Let's pre-move this. This didn't work out too good. Now he's going to take on c4. We're going to play rook b8. So we're definitely much worse here, but it's still, we could fight in this position. We still could try to put up a fight. It's just going to be a challenge to play fast because my pieces keep freezing up here. So I expect him to play rook f2 there, after which I'm going to play bishop c6. I'm not really sure what else he could do. He takes on c5. I didn't really consider that. So I'm going to take here. Oh wait, did I pre-move bishop c6? Wow, I didn't even realize. I thought I let go. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to lose this one. Good game, Dario. So that was an interesting game. I'm going to resign. Play another one. So we're down 1-0. I don't know. That was an interesting game. I'm not sure. I think I was doing fine, but that tactical sequence definitely benefited Dario. I lost an exchange. Rook g5, which is a very nice move. Okay, let's go e4. And let's see if he goes, let's see if he stays with his beloved Najdorf. That's what I expect him to do. So yeah, let's go d4. Yeah, now it's really bad lag. Really bad lag. As you could see, the thing here, it's red, and a lot of time is going off my clock. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. I just have to hope it gets better. I hope it gets better. I'm not sure if there's something in particular I could do to improve it at this point. I guess we're just gonna have to hope it improves. So, okay, knight c3. I think it's getting a little bit better. At least it's orange now. That's better than what it was before. h3. Okay. So will he go with his e6 or e5? He opts for e5. Okay, so knight e2. Yeah, b5. That's one way of playing it. He's going to go bishop b7. We're going to go bishop g2. And it's a lot of, like, this opening, it revolves around the fight for this key square of d5. This square, it's a weak square for black. So I'm going to try to control it as good. And plus f5. So ideas for white include knight g3, knight f5. Those are some of the potential ideas. So yeah, it's starting to freeze up on me again. I'm trying to castle, but it's not letting me at this point. Okay, finally it does. Let's see, so how he decides to play it. Rook c8. Okay. Let's go knight g3. Like I said before, we want to go into these weak squares with our knights. Knight f5, knight d5, plus f4. If he's delaying castling, I definitely want to play f4 to open things up as soon as possible. So I expect him to play a move like bishop e7 now. Maybe g6, because he's going to find it annoying to play knight f5, but that weakens the dark squares. I might even go bishop g5 there. Or f4. If g6, I'll actually probably go f4, because I really want to open things up. His king's still in the center. So I'm quite curious how he decides to play. So he does go g6, and let's go f4, like I said. Let's go f4 right away, take control over these key squares. I could have also gone g5, because he doesn't have the knight h5 square. He would have to actually go back to g8, which actually looks very bad for him. So should I do that now? Yeah, let's do that, g5, because he has to, if he goes back to g8, that can be good for black. That can be good for black. I am getting a little bit overextended, but I think definitely with his pieces so passive, that should be good for him. And when he goes knight g8, I'm probably going to go knight d5. Yeah, knight d5 looks good. I also want to play f5, but that's going to hang the g5 pawn. I'm gonna go, yeah, let's go knight d5. I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, he almost has to take this knight because it's too strong, and I think I'm gonna take with the pawn, because I really want to open up this e-file. I want to open up as many lines as possible. Taking with the queen, first of all, is gonna hang the c2 pawn. But yeah, I really like taking with the pawn better. Okay, he takes, which I'm very happy for any trades to happen at this point. So okay, I think white is close to winning here, because the dynamics in white's position is just too much. Okay, knight e5, interesting move. So my instinct is I should take that knight, because that's his only good piece at this point. I do want to get rid of that knight. Yeah, let's take this knight. And now queen f3 I'm thinking next. And it's not immediately clear to me exactly how he's going to defend the f7 pawn. So queen f3, yeah. I think black is in trouble. I really don't see a good way for him to defend f7. He takes here, so he's temporarily defending f7. But now I take, and he just goes f6. Okay. So, all right, we're just gonna take, because it's in our best interest to open up lines right now. If he goes knight takes f6, probably probably I'm gonna go knight e4. Yeah, knight e4. Now he can't play queen takes d5 because knight takes f6. That loses a queen. He could play knight takes, but then queen. Ah, he castles. Okay, yeah, castles does make sense. I think I underestimated that. But now d6. d6 is very interesting. So d6, if he takes on e4, I take in between on e7. And if he takes my queen, I take his queen. He takes my rook. I think that ends up good for me. I think I end up a piece in that line. So d6. If bishop takes, then I take on f6. Then I take, or he does have king g7 there, but I think it should work out well for white. Yeah, let's go d6. That looks good. So we don't have a lot of time to calculate all these lines. So I think he has to take on d6. Ah, he takes here. Oh, does he have queen b6? Queen b6 he might have in between. That's what I missed. Queen b6 and then take my queen. Yeah. Wow, I did miss that. So queen b6 and I can't block. Wow. Yeah, I think I have to take the knight now. I don't have a choice. Okay. Now, I do lose a pawn, but I still think white's position is pretty decent here because I think the light squares are pretty weak and I still could do some damage on the light squares. Let's see what he takes it with. If he takes it with the queen, I'm going to go rook d1 now with a tempo. Maybe he's going to take on f8 now. That makes some sense. With check, then I'm going to play rook takes f1. I don't know. The key is to play fast now. I'm down to a minute 15, and plus with the lag, it's going to be really hard to play in this time pressure, but I'm going to try my best. So let's see what he does here. Maybe queen d4 check makes a lot of sense. Queen d4 check makes sense. He wants to trade queens because his king's a little bit weak here. So what else could he do if not queen d4 check? I would probably, maybe in the end of that line I have bishop b7, but then c2 is hanging. So I think queen d4 check is pretty good actually for black. I think it's still closer to drawish territory with the opposite color bishops. Maybe in the end I go bishop d5 check and bishop b3 to protect my c2 pawn, because I can't go rook f2. There's going to be bishop c5, this pin. So I'm not sure. But as black, I would definitely go queen d4 here, because otherwise you have to worry about your king. And oh, he goes rook f8. That also does make sense. And I think queen d5 is pretty much a draw. I'll be down a pawn in this episode as long as I play fast. So take here. Come on, let's go, let's go. Take. And now I guess I have to trade rooks after he moves the king. Well, now it's totally stuck here. The times are frozen. Yeah, I'm having major lag here. Major lag. Wow. It's not letting me take the rook. It's unfortunate. Okay? And yeah, this position, it's definitely a draw. Even though I'm down a pawn, it's definitely a draw with opposite color bishops. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time. That's the thing. Time is the issue here. So okay. So he offered me a draw, yeah. So that's a nice thing to do of him. Yeah, it's definitely, this position is completely drawn. It's just there's no way black could make progress. It's a total blockade. So hopefully I have less lag in the next game. Okay, so yeah, so it's green now. That's a good sign. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so now he decides to play knight f3. So I guess he's gonna, and now we're back to high lag. Okay, he goes d4. Okay, knight takes d4, and we're gonna go with a timing of knight c6. Let's see how he likes playing g3. That's a line he likes to play, and maybe okay, knight c3, now queen c7, and I expect him to play g3. That's a line he likes a lot, but yeah, knight b5, that's also playable. I think knight c to b5 is the more common move, so you could play a Maragzi bind. So now a6, okay. We're not worried about bishop f4 because I'm just going to play e5 if bishop f4. I think that's actually going to lose a piece because both his pieces are hanging. So he goes knight b4, now knight f6. And again, if bishop f4, we're going to play e5. So he plays bishop g2. And you know what? We're going to play this aggressive system that I like against it, h5. So there's many ideas with this move h5. Potentially, I want to go h4 if he lets me weaken the king, and that's exact, since he didn't stop it, that's exactly where we're going to do. We're going to play h4 once it lets me, and let's see how he's going to handle it, because I like black's position here, even though it looks like my king's in the center. The thing is, I want to take next move. If he takes with the f pawn, now he's going to have problems along this diagonal. I'm going to play a move like bishop c5, and he's going to have problems there. If he takes with the h pawn, now I could do some damage on the h file. So it's double-edged. Of course, it's a bit risky because I'm leaving my king in the center for now, and plus my bishop's on c8 is undeveloped. But I think it's, especially in the blitz game, it's pretty effective. He goes a4, which I'm a little skeptical about that. I think it's a little slow. So do we take right away? Let's actually keep the pressure for now. So we have the option of playing h3 at the right moment. Let's go bishop c5 for now. So I expect him to play bishop. He goes knight b3. Okay. I thought he's going to play bishop e3. So now we're going to play bishop a7. We want to keep this bishop on this diagonal. It's going to be a very strong piece. And now we already have a threat. I want to take here, and after ag, there's queen takes g3 because the f pawn is pinned. So let's see how yeah, bishop f4 makes sense. He's inducing me to play e5 in order to block my queen off on this diagonal. Plus, if I play e5, that might weaken the d5 square, which might be a problem. So the question is, maybe do I just play knight e5 here? Do I play knight e5 or do I play e5? You know what? I'm going to play knight e5. I'm going to play knight e5, just blocking this diagonal off. And again, it's a bit risky, but I want to play knight h5 next move. If he doesn't do anything special, my idea now is knight h5. And let's see, I'm not quite sure how he's going to handle that. Yeah, I mean, maybe e5. I definitely could have played e5 and then followed by d6, and then that would let my bishop come out. There's benefits of that too. But I think this is fine. I mean, maybe objectively white's doing okay, but I think it's a little bit annoying to play this position for white because there's things to deal with. He goes queen d2. There is this move knight c4, but there's a lot to calculate there. Take, not sure what's going on there. How about, let's go with our initial plan of knight h5. Yeah, let's go knight h5, see how he handles it. So now I'm really not sure what he does. After knight h5, again, there's many ways for him to play it. Rook, he just ignores it, okay. He just ignores it. So let's take that bishop. Let's start with taking the bishop. And I guess he's going to take with the queen, okay. Now let's take here. Let's take here. He has to take with the h-pawn. He has to take with the h-pawn. And now the question is, can we do some damage here? Can we do some damage? I don't see anything concrete this knight, so let's just go knight c4. If he trades queens, I think this is going to be a pretty good endgame actually for black. We have two bishops, there's pressure on b2, and it's not that easy for him to deal with it. Queen g5 does make a lot of sense. Since our king's in the middle, he right away he puts pressure on this g7 pawn. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to play queen e5. Yeah, queen e5, protecting the pawn and offering a trade. So I'm going to pre-move knight takes e5 because I'm not really sure if he could avoid that trade, like where he goes. So he does. And the only thing we have to take care of is this bishop. Otherwise, I like my position, but this bishop is a bit suspicious at the moment. So, but it's going to get into the game. I need to play probably... It's not that easy to get it into the game, because if I play b6, I block my other bishop. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. That's the one challenge in this position. Maybe king e7 and d6, bishop d7. That's one way. Also, definitely in my plans is to play a move like knight c4 and put pressure on b3. Knight d4, I think that was a good move. And we're going to go with that plan, king e7. Okay, it's freezing quite a bit on me again, unfortunately. So again, it becomes very, very hard to play when I'm down on time, and it freezes like that. Unfortunately, it's not getting better. Usually it does, so it's going to be tough. He goes b3, makes sense. So now we're going to take care of this bishop, the problem we have here. Maybe he's going to play f4 now, then knight g4. If he plays f4, that plus it's going to be a big pin here, so I don't think that's a good idea. He goes knight e2. Let's get this bishop out as we intended. And now rook c8 next. I like black's position again a lot. He goes c4. Okay. Okay, let's go rook c8. Let's get our rooks active. The other rook is pretty active on h8 now, although it's actually not doing much at the moment, but it's well placed. So he goes rook d2. Now the question is, how do we proceed? It's not immediately clear to me. He wants to double up. You know what? Let's start. I want to trade this centralized knight here on e5. So let's start by offering him a trade here. If he takes, I'm going to take on c6. So he does that. That makes sense. So I'm going to take now. And when he takes with the knight, I think I'm going to play this move e5. e5, and now I'm not sure where his knight's going to go, because he almost has to go back on f3. In which case, I'm probably going to... That's a good idea, knight c2, because now if I play bishop c5, he has b4. Okay, we got to play fast here. So I'm not going to talk much here, because we have to play fast. Ooh, I missed that move, knight b4. He's heading to d5, I guess, but then b3 hangs. So, okay, let's take on b3. Oh, it's check! Oh my god, I missed it. Wow, it's check. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Now, of course, we're losing. But maybe, yeah, plus we're down on time. Yeah, that's not going to be... That is not going to bode well for us. So I'm going to try to play on a little bit. I'm going to play king e7 next move. But we're definitely lost here. I just blundered. I didn't see that it was check. Yeah, we definitely messed up a very good position here. I really like black's position, but Dario played well. I feel he fought well here. So, okay, he's thinking. I'm surprised he's thinking that long. Well, black... he's trying to right away. Oh yeah, of course, rook d8. Yeah, I'm just gonna resign. Yeah, and c5 was a nice move. Okay, so we're down 2.5 to half, but we're gonna keep fighting. Not the best of starts for sure. We're gonna keep fighting. So, okay. Hopefully our lag situation improves. Hopefully it improves. So. Okay. So again, let's start with e4. Let's see if he sticks. Let's see if he sticks with his Sicilian, with the Najdorf. Ah, he decides to play the Scandinavian. Okay, interesting. Now we're back to heavy leg. So yeah, it's really, really bad now. So he plays this, where I like this line, bishop b5 against it. Now if he plays bishop d7, we're just going to drop back to e2. Yeah, now it's really, really bad. It froze. Okay, so he plays knight d7. Okay, so now we're gonna go d4. Let's see how he handled this. If he plays a6, we're just gonna drop back. And the point is, we've uncoordinated his pieces a bit. So we could go to d3, but I'm gonna actually drop back all the way to e2. So yeah, okay. And maybe if he plays knight b6, I'm actually just gonna play c4 and hold on to my extra pawn. So he plays b5. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. He wants to go bishop b7 next. Let's play a4. Let's tickle him a bit on this queen side. Okay, because if he goes b4, I'm probably going to play c3. And then if he takes, that's going to get our knight into the game, and it's going to protect d5. So yeah, let's go c3. And okay, and as expected, we're protecting. And if he goes bishop b7, the question is, he goes knight b6 first. Yeah, so he's gonna win that pawn back, and I'm gonna have an isolated pawn also on d4. So maybe we misplayed it a little bit, but I don't think it's so bad. The question is, do I play d6 now? That's a standard idea. So he doesn't have the open d file. Let's do that. Let's play d6. Yeah, so the point is to force him to capture with a pawn, and now he doesn't have this like blockade that he would in the other line. So it's like a better version of giving up that pawn. Plus we could play bishop f3 actually after he takes. Although, like, I rather have my knight on f3, but I think like the bishop is pretty good here. It's with a tempo. Maybe he's going to play d5, actually. I expect him to play d5, after which I'm just going to continue developing knight e2. So he plays rook b8, okay. So I think we're doing fine here. Maybe the position is about equal. Bishop b7, okay. Probably knight f4 or knight g3. Let's go knight g3. Okay. Now, if he takes, we're just going to take with the queen. And I think white's doing well there because the queen might penetrate after that. Let's just take now. And now play queen f3 with a tempo. Okay. So, after what is he gonna do? We're attacking his rook. Okay, knight d5. That makes sense. He just blocks the d file. Let's just castle. Keep it simple. Okay. So he goes bishop e7, and now we need to get the rest of our pieces into the game. The question is how. If we go, if we move the bishop, the problem is we have a bit of an issue with this b2 pawn. So, you know what? Let's go queen e2. Let's hit his a6 pawn, because it might be a little annoying for him to defend. I'm not sure exactly how he defends. If he plays queen b6, I'll probably play a5. with a tempo. Maybe he's gonna play queen a8. I really don't see too many other options actually for him to protect that pawn. So so he's thinking. I think I would play queen a8 here because the queen's actually not so bad on that diagonal. But one of the purposes why I played queen e2, I wanted to protect b2. So now next move, I'm probably going to play a move like bishop g5 because now that I have b2 protected. Yeah, so he does play queen a8, what we expected, and now we're going to play bishop g5. h6 is annoying though, now I realize, because I can't play bishop h4, he's going to play g5. I'm going to have to take on f6, which I don't really want to do. Yeah. Okay, let's just go knight e4 here. Let's go knight e4. If he takes knight takes e4, we're gonna have to play knight takes e4, because if we play bishop takes e7, he has knight takes c3 in between. I'm gonna lose a piece. So I have to play knight takes e4. Now if he plays knight takes bishop takes g5, we're gonna play knight takes g5. And I mean, I think black is doing quite well here actually, because we have the isolated d pawn. He has pressure on the b file. But I mean, it's not that bad. We're gonna probably go back next to e4 and hit the d6 pawn. He might have some issues with that pawn. So okay, he does that. We wanted to go here anyways. So how's he gonna deal with it? Maybe he's gonna just let it go and counterattack with a move like rook b8. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll decide to play it more passively with rook d8. So yeah, he does that. That's what I expected with someone of Dario style. We're just gonna protect that because I definitely don't want him to take on b2. Okay, and he does this. Now let's control the c file with our other rook. Again, we're getting into this dangerous time zone. Let's play g3 so we could first of all make a luck for a king and stop knight f4 ideas. Oh, I didn't see that he tripled up actually, so that might be a problem. So now if he takes, in the end I take on d6, and I'm pretty sure black is better there because he has a very active rook and I have more pawn islands, but it's maybe not so bad. It's not the end of the world. So if he takes, we're going to trade everything and take on d6. After which he's probably going to play something like rook a2 or rook d2, start attacking my weak pawns. He doesn't go for that. Instead, he does this, attacks my a4, which we're going to defend by playing a5. And is his intention rook b5 here? If rook b5, I'm probably going to have rook c6. Okay, rook c6. Yeah, not sure what to do. We have to play quick. Let's just play queen d2. There's no time to think. Now I want to play rook takes c6 and the other rook to c1. Maybe he's going to play rook b to c8 here. That's what I expect. After which, yeah, I'm not really sure what to do here. I have to take, and yeah, he does get the c file, which is pretty annoying, and that's definitely not what I wanted. But maybe it's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. We're just going to play b4 here. Come on, please let me. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, chess.com. So we're both under a minute here, and now with my lag, it's going to be very problematic. Now, definitely, I see tactical shots for him, like knight takes b4. That might be a problem. Knight takes b4 might be an issue for me, because then, yeah. So I'm going to play knight f6 here to mess up his pawn structure a little. Okay, here. So if he goes queen c1, we're going to take, and king g2. I don't think that rook endgame is actually so bad for white, because he has all these weaknesses. Okay, let's take. Here, time is the main thing. So here, now he's going to play this. We're going to go here. When he takes, we're going to take on d6. So this is definitely worse for white, but I think we could hold this as long as we play fast. King e7, we're going to play here. Yeah, I think we're lagging big time again. We are lagging big time, so we're all the way down to 15 seconds. We're going to try to play fast, but it's not letting me, unfortunately. No, I can't even make a move. I can't make a move, so I'm just going to flag. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That is pretty unfortunate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna offer Dario now to move the match to ICC, and hopefully on ICC it's better than here, because here it's pretty much impossible to play. I'm sure I've already flagged by now, but I don't even see it in my screen. Okay, so I just disconnected. So me and Dario are talking now about moving the match to ICC. So hold up, guys, for a second. Bear with us, because yeah, it's impossible to play right now. Okay, so yeah, we decided to move it on ICC. All right, so I'm gonna set up now on ICC. It's gonna take a minute. Just bear with me, guys. One second. Okay, I'm challenging Dario now. 5 minutes. Okay, let's capture the screen on ICC. Here, let's make my webcam a little smaller because the board is bigger here on ICC. And we're about ready to go. Okay. Let's rematch. Okay, waiting for Dario to accept. All right. Ooh, I did 3 minutes by accident. Let's abort that and challenge him for 5 minutes. All right, so there we go. Much better now. Much better. We're not lagging anymore. Okay, now we're in business. Let's go. Let's go. So he goes with the Smith Mora. We're gonna take, and I don't really want to get into the Smith Mora. We're gonna decline it and take it from there. So okay, let me just do something on XSplit to make the capture a little better. Okay. Okay, he goes bishop c4, knight b6. So here, e6. Now these are normal lines. d6 right away, undermining his center. Next move, we're probably going to go some knight c6, bishop e7, just normal developing moves. Okay. He's probably going to just castle or knight c3. Those are normal moves for white. Bishop e7, bishop d7, rook c8. The only thing I want to be a little careful of castling too early in this line, because as you guys could see, my king side is a little open here. There's not a lot of pieces, and there could be problems after a move like bishop c2 with ideas of bishop takes h7, knight g5, queen h5. That could be problematic. That's the one thing to watch out for. Otherwise, this is all fine. So, okay, bishop e7, takes. Is he going to take on d6 now? I don't mind that. We're just going to take. Queen takes d6, and he has an isolated pawn on d6. So he goes knight c3. Now, the question is, do I castle now, or is it still a little bit dangerous to castle? Yeah, I'm just gonna castle. I think it's fine. So he castles 2, and now bishop d7. We need to get our pieces out. So next move, rook c8. If he doesn't do anything special, I think we're fine here. Without his dark square bishop, I don't think we have to worry about this attack too much. So he goes, yeah, knight e4 does make sense. He brings the knight into the attack, and he's attacking here. So we have to pretty much take on e5. I expect him to take with the pawn, after which, now, do I go knight a5? Then he goes bishop c2. You know what? I'm going to start with this move, rook d8. Rook d8, x-raying the queen. So he decides to play this positionally. He wants to trade queens, which makes sense. Because then he's going to bring a knight, very strong knight on d6. That does make sense. Yeah, I think I did misplay it a little bit. So now the question is, how do I handle this? Not sure. Not quite sure how I should handle this. I don't know why I'm leaning towards this move, knight d5. It's a pawn sacrifice, but if he takes it, bishop takes d5, pawn takes, queen takes, I think I get a lot of dynamics there. It opens up the position for my bishop. You know what? I'm going to go for it, knight d5. We got to play fast. I'm not sure what else to do. So I'm going to pre-move this capture, which I expect him to do. If he takes my queen, I'm going to take with the other knight, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable. So if he takes on d5, I have several options there. I could go bishop f5. Yeah, so he takes here. And now I guess he's going to go knight d6. But here it's a little different because now our bishop is... Oh, so he goes knight c3. That's interesting. Now I don't think there's anything to worry about here. We do have an isolated pawn, but his pawn is a little weak too. I think we're fine here. We're just gonna start with rook c8, getting all our pieces centralized. Goes rook d1. I'm probably either gonna go bishop g4 or bishop e6. I like bishop g4 though. Why not? Pinning the knight, and I just want to take and ruin his pawn structure. Then stuff like knight g6, knight hitting e5, knight f4. I like my position there. So I don't think rook d1, maybe that's not the best idea. The question, what else should white do? Maybe knight d4? Not sure. So, yeah, if he goes... Yeah, knight d4, I was thinking I'm going to go knight c6 now. Oh, but then d5 hangs. d5, no, but then d4 hangs. So if he takes on d5, I take on d4. He does have check, but I'm going to take with the pawn now so I could connect my pawns. Now I want to play bishop e6, f4, d4, and get my pawns rolling. So I'm expecting he's going to play a move like f4. Okay, so he does this, rook d1. Let's play here. Maybe b4, but then rook b8. Then he's going to have problems on the b file. So he plays b4. Let's go rook b8. a3 now. And yeah, the question is, can I do something about this now? Let's go a5. It's aggressive. If he takes, we're going to win the pawn back with rook a8. And then we're going to have this target on a3. If he doesn't take now, how does he deal with this? Rook b1, then I'm just going to take and probably double up after. So here, and we want to go rook b8 next. If he goes knight a4, we're still going to go rook b8. Knight c5, then rook takes b4. So I like my position here. I think black is doing more than fine. As long as he can get a blockade, which I don't think he can, I think black is doing good. We have a connected pass pawn. I think black's in good shape here. So let's see how he handled this. I don't know, maybe rook b2. We're also up on the clock. I'm feeling good about this. Plays rook b2, we're going to double up, and he's going to be very passive. So he does this. Now we're still going to play rook b8. Now c5 is a potential threat. So there's a back rank issue. There's a back rank issue. Let's just go h6 to take care of it. Let's take care of our back rank issue. Now if he goes back rook b1, we're going to play c5, taking advantage of the pin. That looks devastating for black. I mean, rook a4 looks really, really passive. Definitely don't think that's good for white. Otherwise, I don't see how else he could protect. Maybe a move like b5 is interesting. b5, if I take, he takes on d5. Take, but then I think my b pawn becomes very strong in the end. Just start pushing b4, b3. So I like that too for black. And he's getting very low on the clock. We're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. I really don't see what he could do. So yeah, he passively defends. But now, I'm wondering if I could actually still play c5. c5, if take, rook b1. If knight takes, it's a back rank mate. If knight d1, I mean, I think, I don't see a clear win there, but I think we should be winning. We're going to double up rook c1. Yeah, plus he's very low on time, so we're just going to go for it. So he flags. All right, so ICC is definitely working out better for us. Let's rematch. Okay, now we're white. Let's see if he goes back to his Scandinavian or he plays this. He plays the Najdorf. Okay. All right. Is he gonna play e5 or e6? He likes both lines. He plays e6 this time. Bishop g2. So against me, and we played at the Turkey Bowl, I believe in this position, he played knight f to d7, which is one of the best ways actually for black to play. And here is this move that I like a lot, h4. Right away, we're expanding on the king side, and we don't want to waste the tempo here with the queen because he wants to take on c6 anyways. And now g5. So, okay, so it looks like he probably looked at this line because he's playing very confidently. We're going to play f4 here. It's an interesting approach. It looks like he wants to go on c4, but now we're just going to go bishop c1 because we're going to play b3 next with the tempo, and then bishop b2. And our bishop is going to be very aggressive on this long diagonal. So I don't mind this, actually. I think White is doing more than fine in this line. Queen b6 is an interesting move. He's attacking d4. And I'm not immediately sure what the best way to deal with this is. Because if I move, let's say knight f3, a natural move like knight f3, do I just take on c6 here? The thing is, he also might have this idea of knight e3. If I move the knight, he might have this idea of knight e3. So I definitely want to take on c6 so he doesn't have that with a tempo. And now I'm thinking, let's start with this move, queen e2. Queen e2, we're hitting the knight, and we're not letting him play knight e3. I don't think he could take on b2 because we're just going to play rook b1. So what does he do? I don't know, maybe d5 protecting. Then we're going to go b3 and bishop b2 as intended. Then most likely we are going to castle long and then start this pawn storm on the king side. I like my position here. Let's go b3. Yeah, okay. I don't see a reason not to. Maybe he has bishop b4, actually. Maybe that move might be somewhat annoying. I'm probably going to have to play something like queen d3 in that case. Because taking on c4 is definitely no good. He takes with a fork, so he does do that. He does do that, and now I think I have to play this move, queen d3. Yeah. But now maybe queen a5. Queen a5 might be quite annoying, actually. Yeah, he does that. So he found those moves that I saw also. And this is a bit unpleasant. I don't know. I don't know how to handle this now. I might be in trouble here. I might be in trouble because he's hitting c3. If I take, I'm going to lose a rook. Yeah, that b3 was too hasty. b3 was now. So how do I get out of this situation? Ooh, rook h3 is a possibility. Then yeah, I think rook h3 is the only move I see here. Fortunately, I have this resource. I think I'm still holding on here. If not that, I might have been in big trouble. But after rook h3, I'm not sure if he could do anything special. Because if he plays a move like e5, I was thinking just f5 here. Yeah. Yeah, why not? f5. Because he can't take on e4 because I take his knight with the queen. So, yeah, so he does that. And now... yeah, that is a good move. I actually missed that. Wow, because now if I take again, he takes on c3 with check. Now I'm going to have to sacrifice an exchange. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because I don't see what else I could do. Can I do anything else? I don't see it. I think I have to give up an exchange here, and that's looks like a losing position, but nothing I could do here. There's nothing. He will have this weak sequence. Will he trade queens here? I think he should. I mean, black still has some hope because, I mean, white, because he does have these weak c pawns. This definitely is lost for me without question, but I still could fight here. I'm going to play king d. My plan is to play king e2, king d3. Try to win the pawn on c3 to at least have a pawn to show for my exchange. Plus I have this space advantage on the king side, which might mean something. I don't know if it does much for me at this point. So now what do I do here? How do I get something going? Yeah, I really don't see anything better than just king e2. Now my bishop is kind of stuck babysitting this d2 square. So he takes advantage of it by playing c5. Makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, I don't see anything better than to try to go for this rook swap, which normally isn't good when you're down in exchange, but I don't see anything better at this point, and then try to hope to utilize my bishop and try to win at least one of his pawns. Very interesting. So he decides to second exchange back, which I'm going to take without thinking here. So definitely, again, I'm still much worse. I'm not sure if that was necessary for him. But now we're going to try do a blockade here. I expect he's going to go a5 now to play bishop a6, after which we're going to go bishop f1. So, okay, that's what I expected, and now we're going to do this. I think he's going to play a3 here. If he doesn't play a3, I'm going to play a3 and protect this pawn, and then I'm not feeling that bad. I'm down a pawn, but I have this annoying b pawn. I think he should play a3, but then I play bishop c4. It's also not the end of the world yet for me. I have to watch out for d3 ideas. d3, he's going to get this passed pawn. Not sure. I'm definitely still a lot worse. Pawn is a pawn, as they say. But I don't think all is lost here. I'm a little skeptical of his exchange sack. It was creative. He gets protected passed pawn, but I don't know if it was so necessary. Let's go bishop c4 here. I probably want to play bishop d5 here. My bishop would feel very good on this square, on this b5 square, yeah. Actually, maybe I should have just kept it on, yeah, because I saw this, yeah, bishop b5. It's a bit annoying. His bishop is well placed. Is d3 a threat? No, I'll just take. So let's move on here. Maybe g6 next. Try to create something. As long as I keep this d3 idea at bay, I think we're doing okay. Let's go g6. I could have also taken and open up some files, but I like this. If he takes, I'm not sure which pawn I'm going to take with. It's a little, I'm going to take here. It's a little, you could make an argument for both captures. See, the problem is I don't even have this move, rook f1, because his bishop is taking control over that square. So it's going to be hard for me to get my rook in, because I can't get it to d3. So, how do I coordinate here? So I want to go king f5 here. I expect him to play rook f8. He plays this. So does he want to sack now? I don't know. I don't have time to calculate this. I'm just going to go here. Okay. King d6. King d6. Now he just wants... not sure what to do now. Let's go here. He takes. Okay, I'm going to take. Here, I have to go here now. And now... Okay, he does that. So, let's go here. I don't have time to think. We're probably lost here. We're probably lost more than likely. But we're still going to fight here. Ooh, that was bad because he takes with check. That was definitely bad. We're going to just have to play fast here. Now I'm going to go king d3. Is he just going to take an a3 now? Okay. Take, yeah, that... he's playing it well. He is playing it well. So if I go g8, he does that. Okay. So I'm gonna try to attack it like this. Okay, if a2, I have to go behind. He takes. I'm gonna take here, here.
Check.
Yeah, so I flagged him in the losing position. Yeah, that was a crazy finish. So yeah, he played a little slow there in the end. I was definitely losing most of the game. Maybe his exchange sack wasn't best, but we fought best as we can. So let's move on in the match. Let's go with another Sicilian. Okay, we're getting some confidence back here. Let's see how he plays it this time. So queen c7. Is he going to go for this knight b5 line again? Okay, he does. So he's going for this line again. Oh, I'm happy to go for it again because I really liked it. Even though we lost, I really liked our position last time. h5. So again, he lets me do this. So we're going to do it. If he lets me, we are going to do it again because I really liked my position last time. So he handles it the exact same way. We're going to go straight into the same line because I really like my position. Bishop f4. Maybe I'm going to consider e5 though this time. Should I consider e5? No, let's play it the same way because I really liked my position last time. So why change anything? So he's going straight into the same line, and let's cooperate. Let's cooperate. We did have this issue with the bishop, though. That was our only issue, but I think we took care of it last time. Here, let's take, and here, let's go right into the same line. I think black's doing very well here, despite the problem with this bishop, because we have the bishop pair. He has this problem on b2. If he trades, it's going to be very annoying to defend this b2. So he does the same as last game, and now, okay, back to this line. All right. So last game, I believe I started with this move d6. Now I'm going to do the same thing. King e7, and now bishop d7. I just want to centralize my pieces. I like my position, and apparently he liked it also, since he's going for the same line. So we're basically in disagreement of the evaluation of this particular position. Okay, so let's play it out again. It's always interesting when both people like their position, so it's unclear who's right. Maybe, I don't know, maybe white's doing fine. I don't know, but I like this. I like this. Knight c6. I think we're following 1-to-1. It's already 23 moves. We're following our game 1-to-1. Everything is the same. So, okay. Rook f to d1. Now, how do we handle this? What did we do last time? So he's threatening knight takes c6. No, he's not threatening knight because we just play rook takes c6. You know what? I'm just going to start with this move, e5. So now if he takes on c6, I'm just going to take on c6. The key is just to keep this d5 square under control with our bishop, so his knight doesn't get to this d5 square in a comfortable way. So we're just going to play bishop e6, if anything. So what other options does he have?
Check.
Okay, he does take. Now knight c3, now bishop e6. As long as we keep the c6 square under control, I like my chances. This bishop's very strong on this diagonal. I'm going to play bishop d4 potentially. I still prefer black here, actually. But we have pressure on the H file, which could mean something later on. Right now, it doesn't mean much. And I like our bishops, even though if he plays knight d5, we're going to have to part with our bishop pair. But then we're going to play bishop d4. And just black's dark square bishop is better than white, so I still prefer black there. Plus, there's potential issues with the b3 pawn, which I think might prove to be just as weak as our d6 pawn, which won't be so weak if we get to just play bishop d4. Or even bishop c5 is a move, maybe, with knight bishop b4 ideas. So I'm feeling comfortable here. Also, b5 is an idea in some lines. It's not playable yet. Okay, he goes bishop f3. Not sure. I guess he wants to go king g2 next. That makes sense. If I go bishop d4 right away, he just goes knight e2. So I don't think that's so great. That's why let's go here. And now I want to play potentially bishop c5. Bishop b4, I mean. Yeah, bishop b4, and it might be an annoying pin. Okay, so rook d3 does make some sense. And now, why not this move? Why not this move? I don't see anything wrong with it. Now there's no forks like last time because we have our bishop protecting d5 square, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, king g2 he goes. Yeah, it's a trap because we can't take. So maybe do we... how do we proceed here? How do we proceed? Okay, let's start by taking. Let's start by taking for now. I expect him to take with the h pawn. Is there any merit of bishop h3? I don't think so. How do we coordinate our pieces here? Not that sure. Let's play g5. But I want to play g4 if he lets me. If he plays g4, then rook h4, and he might have an issue with that g4 pawn. If I play g4, he's going to have to play a move like bishop e2, and I think I might be able to get some initiative with moves like f. Although I have to watch for f5, because then after take, I can't move my bishop, because then knight d5 will be an issue. Okay, so he goes... Does make some sense. We're gonna trade. I don't have time to consider this too long. And now the question is, how do we coordinate here? So maybe we want to move our king so we could threaten on b3. Yeah, I think let's go king e8. Let's start with this move king e8 and see how he handles it. So he does this, which I expected. And I still prefer black here, because if he takes with the rook, okay, he takes with the pawn. Now I get to put my bishop here. So my bishop's very strong here, definitely better than his bishop. And even though it's kind of in drawish territory, I like my chances, even though the one issue I have is this rook. It's pretty active, but it's hard to get out now. It's kind of stuck here. So that might be a potential issue. Bishop e4 is a good move because I was threatening f5. Okay, king e7. And now I think I'm going to have to do this to get out. I don't see another way to get out. And now slowly rook a6, rook a8. Even though there is some merit of leaving the rook here. Now let's just play f6, keep all my pawns guarded and solid. He goes bishop c2. Should I just keep my rook there? No, it's not doing much. So let's go rook a6. It's probably a draw, but I think I could actually pressurize here a little bit. I'm going to go rook a8 next. Okay. And now, he wants to go, yeah, he wants to go rook h8 to trade rooks. You know, I'm not interested in the rook trade. I'm just going to go here. Oh, I kind of missed rook h7. I forgot he has rook h7. Yeah, that was bad. He missed it though. He missed it. So now I'm gonna go for this rook trade. And yeah, this is just equal pretty much. It's there's just nothing much to play for. I'm gonna offer him a draw. And he accepts. All right. So I think we were better there for most of the game, but it was just not enough. It was just not enough to win. It was opposite color bishops. So let's go again. Again with our... Okay, yeah, so I played e3 by accident. It was a mouse slip. So, yeah, we're going to start all over. Okay, so another Sicilian. Let's play quick now. The key is to stay up on the clock. Let's play quick and confident. Oh, he's actually... I pre-moved d4, but he played this move knight f6. So now I guess I need to play e5. And we have to go into a different kind of opening here. Knight d5, I guess I'm going to go c3 now. So it kind of transposed now into c3 Sicilian because he played this move knight f6 and I pre-moved d4. Okay, I'm fine with that. I don't mind playing this position. So let's see how he handles this. He's playing a bit slow here in this game. e6. Okay, I'm not quite sure if he's familiar with this particular opening. I think he usually plays different against the c3. d5, interesting way to play it. The question is, do I take now and passant? Why? I don't think I should, though. I have a nice space advantage. It's kind of a French structure here. I do have a backward pawn on c3, but generally speaking, I like my position. It's going to be hard for him to castle. So he goes h6, okay. Makes some sense. He's keeping me out of g5. So he's playing this position pretty slowly. The question is, do I open things up with a move like c4? Do I get aggressive, or do I just keep on playing normal developing moves like bishop f4, let's say? So let's say c4. He takes. I don't think that's much. Yeah, let's play bishop f4. Just normal developing move and just play for our space advantage that we have. And this bad bishop, which is quite hard to activate, actually. So I'm not quite sure how Black's supposed to play this. He plays knight a5. I guess he's going for some play on the queen side. Maybe he wants to go to c4. So we're going to keep him out of c4 by playing this move, queen e2. So bishop e7, okay. And now we need a plan. We need a plan. Let's start with this move, knight d2. Our knight wasn't doing much on f3. Potentially now, maybe we're going to play bishop g3 and f4, f5 is an interesting idea. Or bishop e3, one of those moves. I still think it's very dangerous for him to castle because he doesn't have much defending his king side. I think we're in good shape there if he castles. So should we go bishop e3 or bishop g3? Let's go bishop e3. I probably should have gotten bishop e3 in the first place instead of bishop f4. But okay, I still like my position anyways. He's very passive. Okay, so he goes rook c8. That does make sense, attacking my only weakness on c3. So we're going to defend. I wonder if he wants to go bishop a3 here. Maybe that's what his idea is. If he goes bishop a3 and then I go rook c2, then he has bishop a4. That's actually a little annoying. Maybe I shouldn't have allowed that. So after bishop c4, then knight b3 doesn't work because he just takes. So let's see if he notices that. Bishop a3 is quite annoying, actually. Maybe after bishop b5, though, I'll go rook c2, and after bishop a4, I have bishop b5 check. Probably that's what I'm guessing. That's what Dario saw, and that's why he rejected this line. Now the question is, can I just play c4? c4. Also, queen g4 is an interesting move. Yeah, let's start with queen g4, like to harass him a little on the king side, so he has to decide how he's going to handle it. Probably g6, but then, you know, there's sacks to watch out for. Not right away, probably. But then the h6 pawn will be a potential issue. I like that. And now c4. Now let's open things up. Time to open things up since his king's in the center. I think it's just about that time. So we're not really threatening to take, because then he could take on c1, get two rooks, and we have a back rank issue. So now, okay, we're going to take with the knight, and if he takes, we're going to take with the rook, and then probably just double up rook c1. And I really like our position there. Although, I mean, maybe it's not the end of the world for Black, because now his bishop did improve a little bit now. So, but I still like White a lot. His king's in the middle, our pieces are very active. I definitely like our position. I like our chances. Okay. So let's see how he handles this. Okay, knight c4. I'm not sure what he's thinking about. Yeah, I thought like he almost had to take. Yeah, okay, queen b7. Now, why not bishop e4? Is there a reason not to go bishop e4 here? Yeah, it makes sense, centralizing. Probably bishop c6 though. I wonder if that's his idea, but then there might be some tactical ideas. So he does that, okay. Queen a6, queen a6. I mean, I'm thinking I have to take now, and then let's go rook c1. So he can't take on a2. His bishop's hanging, so he's playing quick now, okay. Question is, can I play d5 here? I don't think so, because he's going to take. Bishop takes g6, pawn takes, queen takes g6, king d8. Is there a follow-up? Is there a follow-up? It looks like there might. Queen g7? Maybe it's a little early. You know what? Let's start with this move h4, making a luft. So he goes h5 right away, okay. And now queen... Okay, queen g3. And if he takes on a2, I think I'm going to make this sacrifice now. Because his king, I'm not sure if it's totally legit, but it's going to be very hard for black to play practically with a minute left. Because his king's in the middle, our rook is covering the c file. Let's go for it. Let's go for it confidently. Maybe rook g8 though. Yeah, I kind of didn't look at rook g8. Then I guess we're going to take on f7 with check. Okay.
Check.
King d8. Start with... How are we going to start? Are we going to play bishop g5? Yeah, let's start with this move, bishop g5, because this bishop is the key defender of his king. We need to remove that bishop. I think he almost has to take now. This too, maybe this was possible. That was actually a very clever move. Queen a3. Now, how do we proceed here? How do we proceed? Let's start with this move, queen g7, hitting his rook. He's probably going to go rook e8. And then we're going to have to think of something. It's not that clear, actually. He's defending quite well so far. He is defending quite well. Let's go queen g6 now. We want to hit his h5 pawn. Again, if he takes on g5, we're going to take with check. Our rook is protected by the bishop, so we're not worried about that. He's down to 37 seconds. So that might be a big issue for him. So he goes b5, we're going to take. So, okay. And I guess he just wants to start pushing that pawn. Makes sense. Makes sense. Question is, how do we create something here? How do we get some attack going? Let's go d5. We need to open things up. We need to open... So if he takes, I'm not even sure exactly. Do I play e6 right away? Yeah, I guess I'm going to play e6 right away. Although it's probably, you know, it's probably not very sound, but we have to do something. Actually, let's play queen g6 first. Let's play queen g6. Now I want to play e6. Now I want to play e6, okay. See, I wonder if he's going to play b2 in between. Yeah, okay, he does. Take on d7, take, queen check, check. No, that's... I don't like the look of that. Let's go here. It's good that our queen is actually protecting the b1 square. So yeah, he lost on time. I think this position is probably bad for white, but it's very hard to play practically for black with the king in the center like that. He has to be very careful. Okay, so that wasn't the best game, but I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. Let's go again. So another Sicilian. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Another Sicilian time. Knight c3, e6. So he goes back to his Grand Prix. Okay. Here, I'm going to go bishop e7.
Check.
Now, develop normally. Bishop b7. Knight f6. He plays this move that he likes, a4, which I already said earlier I'm not that big of a fan of. But he won that game, so... What do I know? Anyways, what does he do now? I'm going to just play knight c6 next. Just in the, I think it was the very first game that we played. We had the same opening. Or do I just go a6 right away? Or knight c6? Yeah, I'm going to go a6 because this bishop is passive anyway, so I would be pretty happy to trade it. So he doesn't take. Okay, now just knight c6. All right. I'm fine with this. I'm totally fine with this. Our bishop is not the greatest now on d7, but his bishop on c1 is not so great too. I like our position. Let's just centralize our pieces here, make normal moves. Maybe rook b8 was a little better to play b5. Now that I look at it, I like that a bit more. But this is fine too. Let's play queen c7 now, rook d8 next. We're just centralizing our pieces, making normal, natural moves. So, okay, bishop d2, rook d8. We're definitely doing a lot better on ICC than we were doing on chess.com. So that's nice. Okay, yeah, so he's going for this bind on the queen side, which does make some sense. I'm thinking this bishop is kind of in our way now on d7. Let's move it out of the way, bishop e8, because it's blocking our rook here. Now I have ideas like knight d5 potentially, or knight d4. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to play it, depending on what he does next. So, what is he going to do? Maybe knight e5? No, knight e5 I just take. I'm not quite sure how white should handle this position. Black is very solid here. I don't think ideas like f5 will be very good. I have f7 protected by my bishop. Just going to take. So he's spending a lot of time here. And yeah, I think I like white a lot. I like black here. I think I prefer black here, actually. Maybe it's objectively equal, but my pieces are very naturally centralized. Yeah, now I'm thinking this move, knight d5, hitting this bishop on c3. If he takes, I'm very happy. I'm just going to take, get control over the center with a tempo. I like black a lot there. And if he doesn't take, then I'm just going to take this juicy bishop on c3. So maybe the best thing he could do is maybe admit his mistake and just go back bishop d2. At least that's what it seems like to me. I don't see much else he could do at this point. So I actually expect him to drop back bishop d2. We're ahead. We're way ahead now on the clock. Because also he's going to have an issue with the a5 pawn. If I do take on c3, a5 is going to hang. So well, I'm not sure how he's going to handle this. He's thinking quite a bit ahead. We're way ahead now on the clock. Okay, so what does he see? Yeah, so he does go bishop d2 as I expected. He did spend a lot of time on that move, which is nice. Now I'm thinking, do I go knight d4? Yeah, let's go knight d4 here. So I'm going to pre-move this capture because he almost has to take. His queen was hanging and the pawn on c2. And now we have good play on the c file. So if we could just remove that bishop, I'm not quite sure how yet. Maybe because the problem is I can't play b5 because he has this fixated here. But okay, he's trying to get some initiative going here with knight g5. But I'm not quite sure where he's going with that. I wonder if he wants to sack on e6. Let's say h6, knight takes e6, pawn takes, queen takes e6 checks. I'll have bishop f7 in the end. So I think that's good for me. So I'm just gonna play h6 and see what he does. This bishop's actually a very good defensive piece on e8, even though it looks passive. It's a pretty good piece in this position. It's a good defensive function. Now his problem, if he goes knight f3, that's going to block his rook. So I'm going to have knight takes f4. I think he just has to go back, knight e4. I don't see a better move for him than knight e4, after which... oh, he goes knight f3. Now the question is, why can't I just take? I wonder if he wants to take on f4, take, and then take on e6. Pawn takes, queen takes e6, and then e7 hangs in that. Ah, that might be the issue. That might be his trick here. He wants to take on e6. How do I prevent that? Maybe just go king h8. Yeah, let's just go king h8. Keep the, like, preventing these sacks. Okay. So he goes knight e5. That makes a lot of sense. That knight is pretty annoying right now. Fortunately, I have f7 protected. The question is, do I go f6 now? It's a little double-edged because e6 is weakened. Then I could go bishop f7, but I'm not the biggest fan of that. But since I don't quite see what else to do right now, I'm just going to go with it. It's probably not the best move, and now I'm just going to passively defend. So now I think I could... I'm kind of threatening to take on f4 next. Although I'm still not sure, because then in the end e6 hangs, then c2 also hangs. Is getting a little messy. Wait, is d4 hanging? Can he take on d4? I wonder if he could just take on d4, maybe. So he decides to do this, which I'm not quite sure where he's going, because g6 is under control. So I'm thinking let's play f5, hitting now. So he just goes back. Okay, now we're gonna play here, and now we're just gonna take because this knight's too annoying, and he takes. So he's starting to play faster here. And now what? Now what? So we definitely didn't play this ideally. This is not quite what I wanted from that position, but we're up on the clock. I'm still feeling okay here. Let's just start with a normal move, queen c6. Okay? And now I'm thinking b5. If he takes, I'm going to take with the knight. Yeah. I'm going to pre-move this knight capture. Now a6 was hanging. He didn't notice that. So, okay. Now let's go back. Let's go back with our knight, okay? So he's trying to set up some sort of attack here. Should I be worried? Oh, we do have this skewer. I think he missed this. Yeah, we have this skewer. So, yeah, I think we're just winning in exchange here. Pretty much for nothing, and we're way up on time. So this should be good. We just have to be a little careful with some of these sacks on h6. So, you know what? I'm going to bring my queen back just to have everything solid and protected here. I want to keep things solid here. Solid is the name of the game. Let's go rook f8. I missed it. He was attacking d4. So, okay, we're getting a little sloppy here. We're playing on his time a little. But I think it still should be sufficient. Now let's go queen g4. We're threatening to trade queens or back rank mate. So he almost has to trade queens. He goes queen g1. That's very passive. So I'm feeling good now. Now let's just go f4. Let's go f4. Now we potentially want to go f3. Okay, he takes. He's down to 3 seconds. Here, let's just play g5. Keep things protected. Get this out of the way. And now blockade, so he can't play here. Okay, and he flags. So yeah, he's struggling a little bit with the time. I messed the position up a little in the end, but I think we were doing pretty good most of the game. Okay, so Dario says this is going to be the last game, actually. This is going to be the last game, so I really lost track of the score. So I just know I'm doing well in ICC. I don't think I've lost a game yet on ICC. So I really want to win this last game. Let's play quick. Let's go for this same line.
Check.
Bishop b5. He plays it the same way as before. This time, though, I'm going to drop back to d3 because I feel the bishop's more active there. So he takes right away, and now let's start with a3, just so he can't play knight b4, could be annoying. Now I want to play c4 later on. And I guess he's just going to play e6. Probably going to just play knight f3, castle, then c4, knight c3, and just claim that we're better because we just have better central control. I think black is fine though, but we're gonna see what happens. Bishop b7, we're just gonna castle. Okay, we're gonna castle anyways. And now, again, I wanna do something about this queen side. I wanna right away start putting pressure. Yeah, let's go a4 right away. Maybe I don't actually, that might have not been the best, but I don't think it's so bad. And now now we have this c4 square for our knight, and that's what we're gonna do. Maybe it might have been worth playing a5 just to fixate this pawn on a6. Maybe now he's gonna want to play a5 so he could play bishop a6. He doesn't. Now we're gonna go knight c4. Now I'm feeling very good about this knight on c4. We could potentially go knight a5 at the right moment. Maybe he should go a5 here. I think as black I would go a5. He plays c5. Maybe that's okay too. Let's just continue developing now. Bishop g5, centralize. His king's still in the middle. And that should count for something because the position might get a little bit open here. So let's see how. If he plays bishop e7, I'm probably just going to take on c5. So bishop h4. And now, do we just take on c5? I guess he plays rook c8 and he's going to get that pawn back. Now let's continue centralizing our pieces. I like that better. I like that better. Now knight f4 is a move we want to watch out for. Knight f4 could be annoying at the right moment. So should we be worried about that move? Maybe play a move like queen d2 here. Yeah, let's just play queen d2 to activate our king and stop him from any knight f4 business, which could potentially be annoying. Now, next move, I probably want to play knight f to e5, rook d1, stuff like that. So let's see how he handles. So rook c8, he plays a normal move. Let's do what we intended on doing. And I like my position here. a5 is also a desirable move that I want to play. I want to fixate this pawn on a6. For some reason, I didn't consider that. I didn't consider him taking. And that looks to be actually good for black. I shouldn't have allowed that, for sure. So that was a little silly of me. Now we're going to have to fight back here. It looks like I'm just down a pawn pretty much. So what to do now? What to do now? That was pretty silly of me, actually. I mean, I don't see anything better than to go back with my knight and try to get the pawn back. Because I don't see what else to do. Knight e5 was a pretty silly move, actually. It just allowed him to take. And now black is clearly better. The question is, should he try to hang on to this pawn? And how does he hang on to it? Maybe move this knight, but the question is where? I don't know if he can. So yeah, he goes knight b6. I consider that. Now maybe, yeah, his bishop is also kind of staring at my knight here, which could be unpleasant. So do I take? Actually, I just realized I could take. And now I have this little tactic. I could take here. And if he takes on d4, I have bishop h7. So at least I got my pawn back, although I think black is actually doing very well here because his pieces are very strong. Yeah, rook d8 as I expected. And yeah, it's his bishop on b7 is actually very strong now. I'm not sure how I should play this. If I play knight f3, he might even take that knight and ruin my pawn structure. So that's unfortunate. I guess knight b3. I don't really like my position. Maybe queen c6 here, attacking, threatening queen takes g2 mate, and I'm not quite, yeah, he does it. I'm not quite sure how I defend. I think I have to play this move. I really don't like my position, but we're gonna have to defend here. So probably I'm gonna play start playing defensively here, since he has very active pieces. I'm going to play bishop f2 next and try to keep things under control. We need to keep things under control for now. That's the key. So fortunately, our bishop protects. So queen d5. Is it just a centralizing move, or does he have like some threat? I don't see any threat. We're gonna just drop back, as I said, keep it solid. I hope I'm not missing anything. I wonder if he has knight g4 here. Okay, queen h5. Very, very, very unpleasant. Very unpleasant position. Let's just get out of this pin, and potentially we're hitting the a6 pawn. I'm not even sure if we want to take it now. But yeah, of course this makes a lot of sense. How do I deal with this now? His bishops are getting awfully strong. I think I have to do this. Okay. And now king f2. Yeah, king f2. We need to play fast. I'm also down on the clock and a very bad position. So he's playing very well, yeah. What he's doing makes a lot of sense. So now I have to play this, I guess, which is very, very ugly, but I don't think I have a choice. So he's going to go knight f4 now. I have to play queen e3. I didn't even see that. So king g1. So if knight f4, I'm going to go queen f2. I need to desperately try to trade. I think I'm in big trouble here, but I don't quite see a knockout here for black. Maybe knight g3. Okay, he does that. So we would be very happy to trade, even though we do hang a pawn there in the end. So okay, but maybe like I'm still happy to even survive that middle game. He could also take with the rook, and then there's a fork in the end, but I think he should just take with the knight. So he takes with the rook. Okay. So here he's gonna go like this. Take.
Check.
Yeah, this is quite bad. This is quite bad. But now we're gonna go knight c5. We're still gonna fight. We're fighters. We're fighters, so we're gonna fight. I wonder if he's gonna go passive with bishop c8, then probably king c4. We still have some slight hope here, very slight. Now, yeah, I don't really want to trade the pawns. Let's go a5. That's our only hope, this pawn. So I wonder if he'd probably rook a2 maybe. Yeah, rook a2 would make a lot of sense here. And okay, he decides to take here.
Check.
I missed that. I missed that. Okay. Should I try to flag him? Let's try to flag him. Okay. Here, well, I'm down. I'm the one that's down on time. So I expect Dario's going to win this easily. So he's playing a little slow. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Check.
Yeah, we're down a bishop and 2 pawns. This is really, really bad. We're dead lost, obviously. But we're going to be shameless here. We're going to be shameless and try to flag Dario. Let's test Dario's speed in this position, okay? So he's playing well. What he's doing makes a lot of sense. He should just start pushing the h-pawn, I guess. Here, we're just going to try to make it as difficult as possible. Here, I guess h3. Going to try to bring our rook back for defense. Here, I will bishop h5.
Time warning.
This also wins completely. That's clever way to play.
Check.
Here, okay. Now maybe some stalemate ideas. It's my only hope. Is
check. Check. Check.
yeah, so he got me. He got me. It was close, but he prevailed in the end. So I think, wow, like that match was very close. Yeah, that was he says good games, and so yeah, I think like the match was pretty close, like especially I mean, he had the upper hand in the beginning. I had a lot of lag, but I think he was also playing very well. On ICC, it went a lot better, but he did win the last one. I think it was pretty even. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this match. I'm going to end the broadcast. Later, guys. I thought it was a very interesting match. We'll definitely do this in the future. If you guys haven't subscribed, by the way, to the channel, I definitely subscribe, because then when you're subscribed to the channel, when I go live, you're going to get a notification on your phone that I'm going live. So we're going to do a lot of these kinds of matches in the future, and I think it's going to be quite interesting. So, all right, guys, later.